fact is that Satan thought that, you know what, if we touch his flesh, that he's going to curse you, God. He's going to talk about you. He's going to turn his back and say, you know what, I'm done serving God, the creator of all things, the sovereign one. I am done serving him because he allowed this to happen. But that's not the case. Job did not curse God, but yet Job was encouraged. The fact is that Job, in the text, it says, look at verse number 4. Here's the conditions. You can touch his skin. God gave permission in verse number 6. And then now what we see, now that you've seen the parameters, you've seen that God's in control. You've also noticed that there's some conditions that he has on the believer's life. Lastly, and I'm done, we need to understand some things. I need to be reminded and understand that as you travel on this journey, no matter trials and tribulations, ups and downs, understand that God is still good. I know it doesn't look good right now, but God is still good. The same God that woke you up this morning is the same God that's going to keep you throughout the day. The same God that fed you on yesterday will feed you on today. The same God that kept the roof over your head is the same God that will keep it over the night. Come on, somebody, you can't even smile right now. The God that's keeping that blood going through your veins, he's the same God whether it's good times or bad times. The fact is, lastly, understand that he's God. If you don't remember anything else, remember he's God. Come on, somebody, look at verses number 7 through 9. We see the effects of Satan's attack on Job. He inflicted the balls from head to toe, and so badly he was in so much pain that sometimes God does not heal us right away. Sometimes God allows us to go through some things that he doesn't come when we want it, but he's always right on time. Sometimes we got to go through the rain. We got to stay in the storms and endure the hardships because it's not about us, it's all about God. When I think about this, I'm reminded of Paul. When Paul, one of God's great apostles, when he was inflicted with his own pain, the Bible says he went to God 3 times. Take this away from me. Yes, sir. But yet he said, my grace is sufficient for thee. My perfect is made in your weakness. So I don't know what you are. You got to suffer through some trials, tribulations, aches and pains, heartaches and distress, financial difficulties. Understand that God is still in control because he's God. After all Job had been through, he found no one to comfort him. There was nobody around Job at this time. If you look at the text, Job seemed like he was all by himself. But here's what I want to leave you on. And trust, this is not Miss Callie in the text. I want to make this plain and clear. This is not Miss Callie in the text. The fact is that even the one most closest to him, one he might have said, I do. Death do us part. The one that he might have told some secrets to at night and laid next to, they had children together. The fact is, in around verse 9 and 10, look at her response. Yes, sir. Her husband was suffering right now. He had lost everything that he had. But look at his wife's response. Says, are you still maintaining your integrity? Are you still going to serve this God? Yes, sir. The God that has taken everything away from you? The God that has inflicted you with pain? His own wife said, curse God and die. Yes, sir. That don't make any sense to me. If anybody ought to say something, be the encourager, it ought to be his wife. Yes, come on, somebody who knows him best, better than his own mama. It ought to be his wife you think would have been lifting him up, talking about, baby, it's going to be all right. We're going to make it through this thing. Everything's going to be okay. But yet it was his wife. And I don't know about you. It's, as I said, it's not Miss Callie. It could be me in the text. Come on, somebody. Because every now and then when we go through some things, sometimes it's the closest person to us that is the most discouraging. Come on, somebody. It might be the closest person to you that's pulling you down and not lifting you up. Every now and then when we look at our relationship with God, we're right there in the text. Every now and then, God, when he delivers us from time and time again, if Satan wants us to get us off track, allow us to lose focus and curse God and die. Yes. But I like Job's response. Reminds us that he's still good because he's God. Job says right there in verse number 10, look at at Job's response, if you would. Job responded, and it wasn't nothing but the enemy using his wife. That's all that is. It's just the enemy trying to use his wife to go against God. Come on, is he still doing that today? Come on, somebody. Is he still doing that today? Somebody's whispering sweet nothings in your ear talking about God ain't going to save you. God don't want you to be married. Let her go. Come on, somebody. God don't care about you. You struggling. God don't care about you. That's the enemy whispering to you. You're not going to be healed. Come on, that's the enemy talking in your ear, whispering in your ear late at night, talking about you ought to go creeping in. Oh, come on. You heard me now, didn't you? That's the enemy. So all I'm trying to say is that he's in control because he's God. He says to his wife, mind you, this is the first time we heard about her until now. Everything was well when he had all the riches. We didn't hear nothing in the introduction. You didn't hear anything. The Bible didn't say anything about his wife. Talking about his sons and his daughters and everybody else. But now we hear one verse. We hear about Sister Job. We hear about Sister Job. And what we hear, if we formed our own opinion, we wouldn't think very highly of Sister Job. Come on, some of y'all shaking your head. But don't be too hard on Sister Job. Don't be too hard. We've all been there. Some of us is still there with that negative type thinking. But I like Job. He said, the same God that blessed us with 10 kids, 7 sheep, 500 donkeys, 3,000 camels, the same God that blessed us with 500 oxen is the same God that's going to keep me in my pain. He said, the same God, oh foolish woman, the same God that kept us when we had everything that we needed is the same God that's going to keep me right now. I don't know if Job raised his voice or if he got a little bit loud or he made that thing personal because he said, shall we accept good from God? Shall we take all his blessings? Give him praises when everything is going well? Should we shout when everything is going well? Should we dance like David when everything is going well? But then when trouble comes, do we deny God? Do we not shout? Do we not give him praise? Oh, I hear Job talking to his wife this morning. Sister Job, she's saying, look here. It's the same God that we're going to give him praise no matter what's going on in our life. It's the same God. Maybe you've been like me. I've been in Sister Job's spot every now and then. Get down sometime and wonder how I'm going to get out of a situation. Wondering how this bill is going to get paid. Wondering how my child is going to be healed. Wondering how I'm going to make it through a certain situation. I'm reminded this morning that the same God that kept Job is the same God today. He's the same God. I don't know what you're dealing with, but he's the same God that's going to heal your body. He's the same God that's going to make a way out of no way. God has not changed. God has not moved. He's still God and he's still in control. I like this because he said no matter what happens, let trouble come my way, I'm still going to serve you, God. No matter what comes my direction, no matter what comes at my doorstep, no matter what trouble is in my bedroom, no matter what trouble comes in my house, I'm still going to serve you, God. Come on, somebody. Do I got a witness in here? Somebody that knows that no matter what goes on in your life right now, you're going to serve the same God that kept Job. Because I don't know about you, but Job did not change. Job did not let his circumstances change how he treated God. Every now and then when we go through some things, when I go through some things, I don't always treat God like I should treat God. Come on, somebody. Actions speak louder than words. Come on, somebody. You shout on Sunday, but then you're dancing in the streets on Monday. Come on, somebody. You're shouting on Sunday, smoking on Tuesday. Come on, somebody. Shouting on Sunday, drinking on Wednesday. Because what you're doing is you're trying to drown your problems in something else besides God. You're trying to absorb some of your situation in an alcohol that's when you wake up jumping, the more you're not going to feel no better. All I'm trying to say is that what Job did, Job stood still. Job said, look, the God that brought me through is going to keep me. I don't know about you this morning, Pleasant Green, but I'll get happy all